Hi, so in this video I'm going to talk about how posture can relate to stability of vision, and I'm going to go down quite a rabbit hole with this one, but it certainly seems to be relevant to my situation, so I'm sharing it in the hope that it will be helpful to somebody else as well. So my left eye tends to have a bit more of a bigger pupil, and it's the one that's sensitive to light. So I just did a search on YouTube to see if anyone had done any videos about it, and someone actually had, and it kicked up some really interesting stuff which I found very helpful. So I mean, the great thing about Google and YouTube and Facebook is there's this hive mind developing. So if you want to know anything about, I don't know, hairdressing or correct grammar, or anything, or any medical thing that you're worried about, you can just search and someone will be talking about it, and you can get lots of different opinions, and it's really helpful. So anyway, without further ado, I found a video by, if I can find the name, it was on the Caring Medical channel on YouTube, and the guy who's talking about all this stuff is called Ross Hauser, and he's developed basically he's developed a treatment to help with this specific thing. So I just wrote down as he was talking. He's done several videos. They are really worth looking at. So if you have a problem where the eye is slow to constrict in front of a light source, it can be that there is too much superior cervical sympathetic ganglion input. Wow, that is a complete mouthful. But I just kept listening because, oh right, there's a name for this. Let's see what else. So this is due to inadequate vagus nerve input on that side. Another mouthful. Okay, the vagus nerve, that kind of goes up your spine, and it can send out messages. I've had a problem with it way back in the past. I was getting like chest pains, and it turned out it wasn't anything to worry about. It was just the vagus nerve sending the wrong signals to my stomach, actually. So that was that. So upper cervical instability can affect the cervical sympathetic ganglion, the superior cervical sympathetic ganglion. Okay, so upper cervical, that means in your neck here. So your backbone, your neck bone, your backbone, they've all got names. So C1, 2, 3, I think you've got about 6 bones in your neck, and C1 is up here right at the base of the brain. C2 obviously is the one below it. What happens is that like the big junction box to these nerves, they sit right on these bones, or like in between the joint between these two bones So the vagus, the junction box to the vagus nerve, that sits at C1. The junction box to the superior cervical sympathetic ganglion, that sits on the junction between C1 and C2. So if your neck is a little out of alignment, you know, it can hit these nerves in the wrong, you know, it can kind of push a wrong button and send all sorts of signals to the wrong places. So it affects the vagus nerve, which then doesn't inhibit the signal to the superior cervical sympathetic ganglion. So the vagus nerve should, I think, say, oh, there's too much light, your pupil needs to constrict. So it stops that signal going through to the eye, and then the eye doesn't constrict, and then too much light gets in and it's bothersome. It gives people headaches. It actually causes quite a lot of various problems, and it's different from one person to the next. So to carry on, okay, so in the neck, supporting like the neck and helping to hold it upright, of course you've got muscles. You've got something called the alar ligament, and where you have this instability, you've often got a problem with that. The ligament is a bit too loose. So you can find out actually by having, is it a digital motion X-ray, and what this Dr. Ross Hauser, he's developed this treatment where he gives injections to tighten these ligaments. Now I'm wondering if exercises might also help as well. A bit over the page here because I wrote down quite a lot. So insufficiency of the alar ligaments creates hypermobility in this area. So it means your neck can extend more than it should do. And there's an alar ligament test. So with the alar ligament test, someone lies down and you raise their head slightly up, and then you try and turn it to each side, and you shouldn't be able to turn it very much. And anyway, a lot of what was in this video, it really did resonate with me, because I was thinking, oh yes, that sounds a lot like me, because I've had a funny head posture. You know, I can see that would have kind of stretched that ligament over time, and I can see, I did talk about this in one of my previous videos, but I can't remember quite the title of that off the hop. But certainly I have a tendency to turn too much to this side or overextend this way. Now this explains, to me, it explains why when I turn this way, my eye has a tendency to swing that way, because everything is a bit loose and not connected up enough. And there's also the fact that I am a bit hypermobile anyway, so I'm wondering, you know, people with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, they might have some of the same problems. And I know eyesight can be a an issue with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome as well. So the other thing that you know, rings true is like I change position and suddenly I can see it, or suddenly it goes blurry. So you know, whether I can see something really is dependent on my posture. And if I have a nice straight posture, I really see much better. So yeah, there's that. Also there is, what else have I not mentioned? So yeah, things that help me to a better posture certainly improve my chances of seeing. It does also explain why reading close vision might be a bit more of a problem, because looking down at things, you know, I do have more of a tendency to overextend the neck in the wrong way. So that would actually figure. So the trick here would be to work on things that help my posture, anything that can strengthen this area. So I mean, the work I've been doing with the balance board, that is definitely heading in the right direction. Perhaps more here as well, you know, maybe do a few press-ups. I don't know, but you know, I'll definitely find out what could be helpful in this instance. And it also makes sense of, I think that my vision is very different with strong lighting than not with strong lighting. I think that can be a thing with long-sightedness. You know, you tend to have poorer vision in poor lighting. But I think it may also be a thing with this as well, with its connection to light. So I hope that made some sense to you, because there was a lot in this video that I saw. I've seen some of his other videos. I think he makes a lot of sense. So this is something I'm going to work on and hopefully find some solutions to see what helps here. So the things I've been doing already, like the little exercise here, and this as well, so having a slightly greater strength in this side, because it helps me posture better. I think those things are still relevant, so I'll be continuing to do those. This is another angle again to look at. So yeah, I hope you found this useful. And yeah, definitely go and check out these videos. As I say, the channel is called Caring Medical. So there should be something there for everybody. So yeah, if you like this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe. Hope to see you again in my next video.